Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. In this Jurassic World video, I'm going to show you how to do the Katsuyama Containment Challenge on Jurassic Difficulty, and we're aiming to get this one done in about an hour and a half. Let's get into it. So this challenge has a very limited amount of fences that you can use, which encourages you to be creative, but my version of creative for this is as follows. So in the scenery tab, we want to scroll all the way down to rocks, here we go, and we want to scroll all the way down to this particular rock, and this is going to be our new fence. This is quite slow and long-winded, but it does work, and in actuality it's free, so this is what's going to keep our dinosaurs in. So we're going to go ahead and build our first enclosure with the rocks like so. So when placing these rocks down, you want to be putting them roughly to where I'm putting them. We do want to keep a bit of a gap here on the right to where the perimeter or the edge of the map is, because we're going to be putting amenities, the monorail, etc., all those things on the right hand side there. So we're just going to make a great long stone wall. You do want to make sure as well that there are no gaps in the edges of these little rocks. Well, little rocks, they're very big rocks, but on the sides there can be little gaps. So the dinosaurs can squeeze through those and get out, so we don't want any of that happening. We want to be taking these rocks all the way up to the edge here, and the perimeter or the edge of the map works as a fence for free again. The dinosaurs will not go through or past that area, so we can ignore that side. So we're going to use the same rocks to make a barricade up this section here, and the left hand side enclosure, if you will, is going to be the first enclosure. There's going to be one in the middle and one on the right as well. This bit is a bit tricky there. There we go. So we're going to be making the middle enclosure, oh for goodness sake, the biggest out of the three. The right hand most enclosure will be roughly the same size as the left hand one. Do feel free to stack the rocks if you need to, like I was doing just there. So let's go ahead and get the response facility in roughly here. We're going to be going ahead and getting some of the wild dinosaurs and putting them in that left enclosure that we just built. We can get a nice bird's eye view of how big those rocks actually are that we just placed. They are enormous. So we're looking for the Herrerasaurus. They should be in and around this area, but it's super hard to find them when they go under the trees. So just have a little patience. And here we go.
This efficient hunter is the Herrerasaurus. It's one of the most primitive theropods we know of. But primitive doesn't mean crude. It's well adapted.
So there should be another one nearby. Oh, they're so hard to find. Oh, not too far. Oh, just going into the trees. Great.
Okay, we all need to remain calm. Stay cool, as it were. It's the animals that are stressed, not us. We're relaxed. Or at least we will be when you handle the on-edge dino.
So before this one wakes up, let's go ahead and move him to the first enclosure that we made, and then keep looking for the other ones. I think I see you. Aha! It's like hide and seek with the dinosaurs. There we go. So with all of this tree coverage, there might be a few gaps in our rock barricade that we made. So we're going to go ahead and choose this rock just here. Since it goes into the ground, it's quite tall as well. And we're just going to fill in any potential gaps that there might be. Let's have a look for that third one. Ah, out in the open now. Thank goodness. Nice and easy. Alright, we're going to go ahead and get rid of 2 of these rocks down here. That's for the tiny bit of fence that we will use for the gate and the viewing gallery. So when placing your gate, you want to make sure that the darker bit of the fence is like in the rock and the lighter bit is accessible for the rangers to get in and out of. And then for the viewing gallery, will it just squeeze in here? Yes, nice. It does just fit nicely next to it. So for this challenge, you're wanting to be getting backup generators near each of the gates on the enclosures. So there's going to be a lot of storms on this challenge, so if it cuts out the power, then as we know, the gates just open and stay open, but if there's a backup generator, then we are good with the gates and they should stay closed. So if you've seen my previous content, you'll know that I'm terrible at remembering to choose a contract manually, but here's my reminders to do it at any point that you can. I will probably forget later on as well, but here we go anyway. So with this path, we're wanting to keep it as close to the barricade, the rock barricade that we made, and keeping the right-hand section of the path free for the monorail, amenities, etc. later on. So let's go ahead and open and go ahead with the usual needs for the restrooms, the shelter, and the small hotel as well. We will get all 3 of those in now. Now let's go ahead and pop the control center in. We're going to pop this one just here, should be fine. There we go. And the same for the science center. Let's pop that somewhere just over here next door. So let's go ahead and get some scientists in now. We're going to be filling all 5 of these slots. We want to look at logistics first as who has the highest rating. But overall you want them to have a roughly balanced statistic for the people that you hire. But if you can't do that, then just go for the best logistics. So that's all 5 filled. Let's get some of those scientists researching better power. Let's see what the others can be doing in the meanwhile. Can they get the amenities? No. Alright, let's see if we can get the... okay, let's go for a staff centre. Let's look at getting some amenities in. Actually, you know what? No, let's scratch that. Let's get another enclosure built so that we have more than 1 species of dinosaurs for the guests that are coming in. So let's go ahead and get the rocks, the same ones as we used the first time. And we want to be around here. We're going to pop in the next wall so that creates the second and third enclosure. So we're wanting to make the middle enclosure there the biggest of the 3. We're going to be putting 2 Spinosaurus in there eventually. So the one on the right can be Again, roughly the same width as the left-handmost one. Actually, let's try with an amenity and see if it is making profit. I don't know that it will be, but let's give it a shot. Money is no issue really in this challenge, so we can be a little bit more free with it. Yeah, it's at a loss. Never mind. Let's go ahead and deactivate that one. We can reactivate it later. Let's get some dinos in. So we want to be heading to the northeast corner for the Spinosaurus. Okie dokie, here's the first one. Remember that these take 2 shots, so be ready for when he starts running after you shoot him the first time. So make sure you get the second one in. Oh, he's not running. Well, that was easier than I expected. Excellent, cool. So let's go ahead and get the Spinosauruses into their new enclosure. It was the middle one, remember, that we made? Actually, we're not going to use fences. We're just going to go ahead straight with the gate. We can fit it straight into the rock just there, and the same with the viewing gallery. We can pop that in just here, and then what we'll do instead of having the fences there, we will fill in the gaps with more rocks. So again, it's a bit of a cheaper option, and I think we're going to use this method probably for the rest of this challenge. It's just going to make things a little bit easier going forwards. I think as well it doesn't matter too much if you block a bit of the viewing gallery. Obviously you don't want to block it off completely, but if you block out a little bit of the glass area, I don't think it matters too much. Nice, so let's go ahead and get our first power station in. We don't want to be relying on the backup generators for the main source of power because you do have to pay for them to be refueled, so we will get obviously regular power in, and then the backup generators will be there as and when we need them. Don't forget about that backup generator near this new gate enclosure. It is going to help later on if there are storms, because it's going to keep that gate closed. Aha, more of this. So if you get one of these come up in your game, then definitely take the money. For the sake of the video, I'm going to refuse it because I don't want it to be unfair, just in case you didn't get that offer. Let's go ahead and reactivate this amenity now. Let's get the others in as well. Some of you may be sick of me saying this by now, but if you are new to Jurassic World for whatever reason, then for this part of the amenities, you want to be looking for the highest profit value on each of the things you can offer. Don't look at the smiley faces, just look at that income section, and whatever is the highest number, that's the one you want to choose. Alright, so we do have access to a lot of dinosaurs, so let's go ahead and get the Coleys in. They can live with the Spinosauruses. And let's get another contract going as well. Look at me remembering.
Brilliant work. There's a reason we all rely on your expertise.
Okie dokie, we want to head up here to the northwest and get in the Utaranus. So let's get back in the helicopter and go get these babies.
Asset spotted. Contact made. Pull him down. Controls relinquished.
Excellent. Let's go ahead and send these to that third or right-handmost enclosure.
Asset collection request received. Asset being transported. Asset transportation underway.
I don't want to sound like a broken record, you know what you're doing now with the gates and the viewing galleries here, so just remember to use this method for each new enclosure that you make.
Delivery complete. Ladies and gentlemen,
The right scenery can have a profound effect on an animal's well-being. Let's see just how beneficial it can be to these animals.
So now we have all of these 3 enclosures filled with dinosaurs. We want to be researching the nests for them to have babies. Let's move the coalies in with the Spinosaurus now.
Confirming asset delivery. Asset to be collected. Heading to collect the asset.
And we should have enough scientists available to get the medium amenities. Yes, let's get those researched. Okie dokie, let's go ahead and look to getting our next enclosure sorted. So choose our favourite rock, as we know, and we want to start placing these at a bit of an angle across here from the edge of the third or rightmost enclosure. You do want to be careful of the trees, because for some reason like that it likes to place the rocks on top of the trees. Now that is not very scientific, is it, in a very scientific place? So you want to try and avoid the trees, or try to get around them as best you can. It is possible, you just might need to spend a minute with it.
Asset has been collected.
And for the next enclosure, we're going to make the rocks go at a nice honestly, on top of the trees, a nice little diagonal across. So this corner, as you can see up here, will be the enclosure in its entirety. Do just have a look for any gaps. Because of all the tree coverage, it is hard to see for sure, but if you aren't sure, just double up on the rocks just to be 100% certain. Good stuff. Let's go ahead and get some nests in the current enclosures.
Asset has been collected. Asset delivery confirmed.
Ooh, it looks like this backup generator is using a little bit too much, so let's go ahead and pop in a little power source here so that it's not using too much, so we don't have to refuel it when we don't need to.
Delivery complete.
Alrighty, we're not really making enough money, so let's go ahead and get some medium amenities in. Let's first go ahead and demolish these small ones, and then we can get medium ones in their place. Okie doke, you'll see there's already a dinosaur in this enclosure that we made, but we do not own him because we haven't tranquilized him, so we're going to go and do that now. We don't actually want him in this area anyways, so it is going to be useful to tranquilize him. From memory, I think it's a Trudon, and we're going to be putting that one into a different enclosure, but you do want to be quick with these because they are small. They will run into the area where all of your guests are. They will sort of like migrate, and they will cause a lot of distress for your guests. Nice. So we don't want that to happen, so let's get those ASAP.
Large brain. So let me be clear. This is an intelligent animal. Faster than any human alive. And with claws and sharp incisors evolved to do
And
one
this one's going to be in the trees,
thing
isn't it?
and do
Oh, it's such a nightmare, you know, because they're so small. So just bear with me while I try to find this one, and also if this happens to you, just have patience. They will come out, you will find them. Okie dokie, let's go ahead and get these two into the pre-built enclosure that was already here on the map. I think this is what this map is expecting you to do, but here we are just placing giant rocks instead for enclosures. Anyway, let's go ahead and find the other two.
Asset identified. Reassigning controls.
Asset has been delivered. Delivery has been completed.
Approaching asset.
Asset requiring collection. Task received.
Alright, let's go ahead and remove the fences that were pre-built. We want to put the rocks in instead. We like our rocks. Yes, rock enclosures.
Transporting asset. Asset transportation in progress.
This little one's being super adventurous, so we can't quite go ahead and delete this fence just yet, because otherwise he may run out. Anyway, in the meantime, let's go ahead, let's get the wider path researched. Ooh, someone is unwell. Let's get a medical facility in ASAP. Can't quite place it just here. Let's go and pop it over here. A little bit easier anyways.
Asset has been delivered. Asset has been transported. Understood.
Let's have a go at trying to get... Oh, you little cheeky. He knows I was going to get rid of it. He was like, I want to be free. We'll try that again later on.
I mean, at least the
That makes
dinosaurs
things a
are
bit easier
fighting each
now. We
other
can go
rather
ahead
than
and
us.
demolish
But
that
even
fence
so,
now
I
and
don't
pop
like
in
to
some
see it.
rocks. Hooray!
Makes me nervous.
Oh no, there was one right there. Ah, god damn it. Well, we can't squash him with a rock. Okay, let's get this filled in ASAP, and then we will go and get him back in. Eee.
Heading to pick up the asset.
Let's go and get the final lot of wild dinosaurs. They're in the southeast section of the map.
Shot off target. Approaching asset. Turn in progress.
Asset in transit.
ID on the asset.
Asset transported.
Reassigning controls.
Super stuff. Let's go ahead and get these over to the fourth enclosure, the next new one that we had made.
Asset collection request received.
Alrighty, so we know that these ones need a good amount of deep water, so while we're waiting we can pop some of that in.
Commencing asset transit. Transit has commenced. Construction underway. Across the site. Thank you for your patience and understanding.
And while we are waiting for those new dinos to settle in, let's go ahead and sort the wider paths out now we've got those.
Our hard work in the background means that the dinosaurs get to be center stage. And that was some hard work right there.
Our magnificent animals. Confirming asset delivery. Asset delivery confirmed.
We can go ahead and pop in a staff centre. There's a nice little space just here for it. And let's research the better staff centre so we can get more scientists in. We're doing pretty good on funds as well, so let's go ahead and get a maintenance facility in as well. Nice little spot for it here.
Delivery has been completed. Adding to the list. Acknowledged. Heading on patrol.
We can now get some medium amenities up in this top corner where the path is a little bit more red near there.
I'm on it. Transportation complete. Asset delivery confirmed. Getting the generator back up. That needs fixing. I'm on it.
I believe we can fit a response facility up here, yes. Let's go ahead and get one of those in. Why are these red? Danger to guests? Why? There is no danger. So let's look at getting the Albertosaurus. Actually, no. Let's go ahead and get some more scientists in first. I think we've got space for more now. And then we'll get the Albertosaurus in. Oh, that's not good. How on earth have you gotten out? What in the world? Right then, misbehaviour
One of our
means
juveniles
more
is
rocks.
sick.
We
We need to
really
give it
are
medical
imprisoning them.
attention and quickly.
Let's make space.
How about one more? Controls retaken.
Asset requiring collection.
Do remember to keep on putting the nests in the enclosures, because that is really going to help the task where it says have 48 non-herbivore dinosaurs. That's going to just increase that really well.
Damage found, but I'm on it.
Let's have a check on our stats. Ooh, accommodation rating seems to be the lowest. Let's go ahead and get some more hotels in.
Transit has commenced. Ladies and
And while we're here, let's look at getting the monorail researched as well. Let's see if we can get some level ups on some of these staff members.
I couldn't be certain that joining this group would actually lead to helping the dinosaurs, but oh man, am I glad it is. And really, that's mostly down to your good work. Thank you.
Wow, twice in one game. Once again, I'm going to refuse, but if that offer comes up for you, then definitely take the 5 million. Good stuff. Let's go ahead and get our next lot of enclosures in. Very pretty pink cherry blossom trees. It's so nice. So we want to be starting around about here in this bottom corner. Oh goodness me, the strongest cherry blossom trees in the entire world. We now don't get to see them. They are covered in rocks. Yeah, don't forget about this. If this does happen, just either cover up the gaps or do what you can to work around it and get the rocks below the trees. I am doing my darndest right now. There we go. Lovely stuff. The monorail is done. Let's go ahead and get that in. Let's look to get 4 stations in here, make it a nice long track.
Needs fixing.
A figurative gold star for the park and a literal gold star for you. Both are symbols of success. One just happens to be a sticker.
And guests will be arriving shortly. Attention personnel. A new monorail station has opened and guests will be arriving shortly.
Okie dokie, that's going to help our transport rating significantly. It might not update right away, I don't think so, but that's okay, it should do in a little bit. Let's level up some of these scientists a bit more.
Structure damage.
Let's check back in on these stats. There we go on the transport rating. And we do want to look at getting the main thoroughfare path in as soon as possible, because that's going to increase the amount of guests that we can have in, but we don't have the scientists on the funds for that just yet.
Ladies and gentlemen, our restroom is now open to use for whenever nature calls.
Is this one on the ground? Oh, no, it's not. A big old
trust you have the
peephole.
skills and
Oh,
expertise
hold
to
on a
handle this task.
second. I think this one is fine. But yeah, you do want to be checking for little gaps like this because that's where the dinosaurs will for sure get out. So again, just fill it with another kind of rock. Cool, let's go ahead and get the Albertosaurus in that top enclosure that we just sorted out. Let's go ahead and get another one ready because we do want a male to go with that female that we've just put in.
Asset being transported.
Alrighty, let's go ahead and pop some more big ol' rocks in. We're going to make this section along here into 3 new enclosures again. And then we're going to put the next row of rocks around about here. It's quite tricky here though because of the amount of trees. Remember earlier we were saying about how the rocks like to float on top of the trees. So just be mindful of that. Excellent. Oh no. Oh, okay. See, what is with this? The lack of science there is outrageous. Okay, let's get that demolished. Oh my gosh, the monorail's coming. Oh my god. Wow, that would have been outrageous. Everyone could have exploded.
I'll fix up this damage, no problem.
Alright, so let's get some more dinos in. Let's go for the Deinonychus. I don't even know how we're saying that, but let's go for this one.
Commencing synthesis procedure. Synthesis.
up this damage, no problem.
Let's go ahead and pop in another enclosure with our rocks. This one's going to be for the gyro tour, so it's going to be a reasonable size.
Asset transportation in progress.
So the guests were complaining about there not being enough space. So the thoroughfare, I'm not going to do that yet actually. Let's go ahead and research the gyro tour first, and then we can get that in on that new enclosure, and then we can get the thoroughfare in later on.
Attention personnel. We have detected power outages across the site. Available personnel, please respond.
Asset transportation complete.
Ladies and gentlemen, after an unexpected outage, power has now been restored across the site. Thank you for your patience and understanding. Gentlemen, we have added a new viewing gallery, ready for you to observe.
I'll fix up this. En route to collect the asset. En route to pick up the asset.
Let's look at getting another dino in. Let's go for the Proceratosaurus. Is that how we're saying it? You should as well also have the 48 non-herbivore dinosaurs, as I have by now, since we have plenty of babies on site, which is wonderful. If for some reason though you don't have that task done, don't worry too much, because by the end of this level anyways, we'll have over 60 non-herbivore dinosaurs easily anyways. I'm going to go ahead and extend the Albertosaurus enclosure a little bit with our big ol' rocks. They just don't seem too happy, so if we give them a bit more space, hopefully that will help.
Damage found, but I'm on it. Asset has been transported. Asset in transit. Transportation complete.
The next dino to synthesize, we're going to go for the Nodosaurus.
Commencing asset transit. Patrol underway. Cover your patrols. Generator just needs to
Let's pop the Proceratops in the middle enclosure of those new 3 that we built.
transportation underway.
So once we've got plenty of dinosaurs in this section, we want to be getting another response facility in because we don't want to be relying on the ones further up the map to be coming all this way down here. So let's get another one in. Ooh, we can go for a medical facility as well then. Let's just assign these and then we'll go ahead and get one of those as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have added a new viewing gallery, ready for you to observe our magnificent animals.
Power will be back soon.
Okie dokie, let's go ahead and start looking at getting a lagoon in. So we want to get the lagoon hatchery researched. And as it goes hand in hand, let's go ahead and get the lagoon viewing gallery researched as well.
Attention personnel. We have
Don't forget, in this enclosure we're going for the gyro tour, so we can do that instead of the viewing gallery here. Let's get the Nodosaurus in that final of the trio enclosures that we made down here. Now we're going to go for we've got to find one on the list first. Here we go, the Pachycephalosaurus. I struggle with these names so bad, but these can live with the Nodosaurus just fine. Alright, let's look at getting the lagoon in now, shall we? Very cool. Can we make this a triangle? Oh no, obstructed. Oh, it'll have to be a a whole triangle. So let's look at getting the... Oh, actually, no, we need to go ahead and get the thoroughfare in, don't we? So let's do that first. Okay, back to these. Let's look at getting the Attenborosaurus first. Oh no, how on earth did these get out? For goodness sake, let's sort that.
Fixing it up. Confirming task. Damage that needs patching up.
Naughty naughties, let's get these back in. And oh wait, no, that was the wrong one. Damn it, that one's gonna have to be tranquilized again.
Acknowledging asset collection request. Asset requiring collection.
Let's put the patchies in with the Nodosaurus.
En route to pick up the asset. Asset to be collected. That needs fixing. I'm on it. Asset has been collected.
Okie dokie, let's have a looky for our next dino. We want the Struthiomimus in... Oh no, that was the wrong one. Let me find him again. There we go. Okay, let's get these sorted.
Assets in the air. Asset being transported.
All these little ones running around like, no, we are being brought to our peril. Let's get him out of here ASAP.
You know, aggression isn't just limited to animals. Even plant life can display aggressive tendencies. Nature, green in leaf and stem, right? However, too much aggression, that's dangerous to everyone.
Asset has been transported. Heading to pick up the asset. Asset has been collected. Damage
And for our next dino, let's go for... Oh, and I've gone and thrown myself off. We want the... I know we want the Ankylosaurus, yeah.
asset in transit. Delivery complete. Gas received. Request acknowledged.
Excellent, that thoroughfare is done, so let's go ahead and put some of that all down, all over the current paths that we have got. Lovely.
Delivery has been completed.
Might be worth getting a response facility in near the tank here, just so there's enough for everyone, and we've got plenty of money now anyways to cover that. We want to look at getting in the Ichthyosaurus as well. Have we got enough stuff? Yes, okay, lovely.
This needs fixing.
Let's get the Struthies in on the where the gyro tour is over here.
Acknowledging asset collection request.
Let's have a look at our stats while we're here. Ooh, okay, restroom coverage, shelter coverage, and accommodation rating. We need to have a look at sorting the dinosaur welfare. That should increase as we get some more in, so that's totally fine. Let's go ahead and do that.
Ladies and gentlemen, Our restroom is now open to use.
I'll fix up this damage, no problem.
Let's check back on those now. Ah, okay, accommodation, let's sort that.
Asset in transit.
For your comfort, we've increased the hotel capacity of the park.
I often have my head wrapped up in bigger picture planning. It's nice to know that the hard work on the ground is being handled so expertly.
You make managing this place look easy.
Okie
Shame it
dokie,
isn't
let's
easy,
go ahead and
though.
get the
Otherwise, I'd
gyro
just do it
track
myself.
complete. Oh, that's not what we
Now,
want.
who am I kidding? I'd
Okay, there we go,
probably
that's
still
better.
hire you.
Ladies and gentlemen,
That needs fixing. I'm on it.
atmosphere attraction.
Asset has been transported.
Okie dokie, now might be a good time to pop a save in, actually, just in case anything too drastic happens.
Asset delivered.
Why are you a threat? Maybe it's because you're not comfy yet. We'll sort that first. I could have left a gap in the rocks because it is easy to do, but we'll get him comfy first and then check the rocks.
Getting additional task.
Confirming task.
Let's check here again. Ah, so accommodation and restroom is still lower than we'd like, so let's sort that out.
Asset transportation in progress. Asset has been transported. Harold.
Ladies and gentlemen, our restroom is now open to use for whenever nature calls.
Surely that's made the restroom coverage a bit better. Okay, great. Just the accommodation to sort then now.
Asset transportation complete.
Ladies and gentlemen, for your comfort, we've increased the hotel capacity of the park.
Alright. Ah, so this didn't help. Okay, maybe there is a gap in the rocks. Let's have a look and see. Can't see anything. Really bizarre. Oh, are you onto something? Let's follow you. Where are you going, little one? Look at him run. Whee! Huh. Well, he doesn't seem to be doing anything too drastic. Well, I think we'll leave that for now. Let's get the next dino ready. It's gonna be the Oviraptor, and that one is gonna go in with the gyro tour as well. Maybe I've not gone far enough to the perimeter with the rocks, so let's just chuck some more in at these edges and see if that helps. Ah, 3 went down to 1, so maybe something has helped there. Let's get this one, the Attenborosaurus, released. Lovely. What are we on now? 13 out of 16 species. We should have this done in the next few minutes easily. Let's go ahead and get the ankle in as well.
The incredible Attenborosaurus was named after naturalist and documentarian David Attenborough. It would be an honor having any prehistoric animal named after you, let alone this majestic reptile. This site has a celebrity in its midst.
There are no unimportant tasks. Small problems can snowball if they're not dealt with. So let's get on this now.
Now it's still saying all 4 of them are a threat. How bizarre. And they all seem to be hovering over in this area. I wonder if there's a little gap I have missed. I can't tell because of the trees. You know what? Let's go ahead and get some big rocks in again. Let's double up the layer of the barricade of rocks and see if that makes any difference. Oh, it's gone down to 1 already again. Let's just chuck these all the way down here. And a little bit on this side. Let's see. Oh, okay, cool, it's done it. There must have been a tiny gap then that they probably couldn't fit through, but never mind.
Generator just needs some fuel.
Let's get the ankles in on the gyro tour as well.
Collecting asset. I'll fix up this dam. Refueling generator.
Dead dinosaur? Why? died from an infected wound. Well, I thought I'd research that. Let's have a look at that. Nope, maybe I didn't then. My bad.
Asset collection request received.
I'm going to go ahead and release the oviraptors just into this enclosure here, only because I've done all of the other tasks. If for some reason you haven't done them, then you can pop the oviraptors in with the gyro tour.
The oviraptor got its name from the hypothesis that it survived by stealing and eating eggs from other dinosaurs. It's not a feeding habit that will win you many friends, but it is another amazing example of how species rely on one another in surprising ways.
So all we'll need to do in a minute is get the Ichthyosaurus released, and then we should be there at 5 stars. And right on cue, there's a storm. I feel like this happens on every challenge, right as you're just at the very end, just about to get 5 stars, and then something comes along to just whippersnap everything up. Let's sort all of this out. Alright, I am going to set to tranquilize the oviraptors just because this storm is probably going to set us back 5 minutes or so, and we will get these in with the gyro tour after all. If for some reason you're lucky and don't get hit by the storm, then you should be good.
Transit has commenced.
This needs some work.
Asset transportation complete.
Objective incoming. Receiving asset.
Filling up the generator. Asset collection request received. Using a drone.
This needs fixing.
Transit has commenced. Asset to be collected.
Security should be proactive first, instead of reactive.
There
to
we
disaster
go, 16
later.
of 16
Your
on the
recent
species.
performance,
Now we've just got to wait for
I
everything to
think you
recover after the
understand
storm, and then we should definitely be good.
This needs fixing.
Asset in transit. Delivery complete.
That needs fixing. I'm on it.
Phew, there
Well,
we go. I
hot
didn't think
damn,
that would
you've
take
done
long, and
impressive
it
work
didn't.
here.
Fabulous.
You know what?
Thank you everyone
Buy
so much
yourself
for
something
watching.
nice
I do
on
hope you
me.
enjoyed this
And by
guide, and
that,
do
I
let me
mean,
know
I
in
pay
the
your
comments
wages,
if
so
you
everything
had
you
any
buy's on me.
difficulties with this level. I'd love to have a
You still
chat.
deserve something
And do all
nice
that good
on.
stuff as well, like, subscribe, it always helps me out, and I will catch you all in the next video.